What's up? Welcome to series 9 of store reviews. Let's get straight into it. Natalie 07777. I have sort of a new system for doing reviews to make it a little bit more clear. Your photos are awesome. You have the full square. Lighting is bright. My main objection with it is that it looks like they're inconsistent as far as where you're taking the photos. I'd like it to be one area of your place where you consistently take photos to increase speed. With 384 items, and your items in your store look like they're around 20 or 30 bucks. That's about 7,000 listed. If you sell about 18% a month, which is what it looks like right now, 215 sold over the last 3 months is about 70 items per month. That's about 20%. That's not bad. In women's clothing, it can be as low as 5%, and I haven't seen higher than really 33%. So you're right in the middle there. To make things faster, I would say maybe a little bit more competitive with pricing, even though I think your pricing is pretty much on point. There's just, you're sort of priced at the market, nothing wrong with that. If you want to move faster, sell cheaper, but I don't really recommend that. I recommend you just make your store larger. If you're going to sell these one-off items, one thing I would add is add in some newer tags. You're going to need speed. If you're going to be in the used women's clothing category, it's extremely competitive. You need to be a large size in order to really make it. So email me and let me know how much space you have, and then sort of your schedule. How much time do you have to really put into your eBay business? And let's look at scaling this to whatever your space is. You're doing a good job with selling. I can't think of anything that would make it sell faster. You have great titles, great photos. I don't mind the photos with stuff in the background because the lighting is really good where you live. So you can see the items clearly. You have the full item in the photo. Your product mix is okay. I would say that you need more items that are over 100 bucks because that's going to be those home runs peppered in here and there, really going to increase your average sale price and help you out. And the easiest way to do that is shoes and outerwear, which you have. So you're definitely doing well there. Your pictures are great. I actually think they would do well on Poshmark also. Maybe you can cross promote there. Let's take a look here. Yes, I really like your photos. So I mean, you're doing a great job of having at least 6 photos, which is what I think is great. Let me see how long you've been doing this. Okay, all in the last year. So you're just getting started. That's awesome. Looks like mostly even in the last 6 months. So you're really ramping up your store. Great feedback. Let's see. 112. Okay, so most of it has been from selling things. Let me look at the newly listed. A lot of blazers, great mannequin photos. This right here looks amazing. So what I would recommend for you right now is just to work on speed. And I think that the thing that I can see slowing you down is that the setup looks different in each area, and that's going to slow you down big time. I love this True Religion picture with the full butt shot. Hopefully this photo is stock. If not, that's an amazing photo. I do think that you should maybe crop out your photos so they look like this. These pictures right here are exceptional. They look like a professional store. And down here, when it starts to look like it's in your house, still looks good, just not as professional. Descriptions are good. They're short and to the point. Yes, I definitely think I can help you more with the strategy. You already know how to sell. Your items sell-through rate is really good, and your photos are good, presentation's good. There's no really issues here. I just want to know exactly what your goals are for 2018, and then hopefully I can send you a plan. And the worksheet is at bit.ly/10K on the bay, and you can print that out and factor in how much time you have. And right now the key really is getting as much listed as possible. I have 8 times as much stuff as you listed, so like I would, in theory, my sell-through rate is also a tiny bit faster, so I have about 10 times more revenue than you. And so I think that's really the main key here if you're going to play in this realm, unless you want to get into replenishables or things you can order like closeout liquidation. If you want to do that, I can help point you in the right direction. Yeah, let's go to the next one. This is You Are Special. What's going on? I was looking at your store, a lot of women's stuff. It looks like you are selling a lot of hopefully new items that you can replenish. 2,190 items. This is a very large store, very big, but your sell-through rate does not reflect that. It only shows 324. You might be hiding your sold, I'm not sure. These look like replenishables as well because these are stock photos, which means you may be selling multiples of them. Maybe not though. It depends on. I'm not sure if they're replenishables or not. Email me and let me know if your sell-through rate's higher than that, but I'm only showing 324 sold in the last 3 months, which is about 100 sold per month, about 3 or 4 items a day, which is very slow for a 2,000 item store. Let's see if I can figure out what's going on. I'd say for sure your photos are very dark, hard to see. Let me just add that really quick. Photos are dark and unclear. Like this Brooks Brothers jacket, I can't see the detail of the jacket. It's just blending in. There's dark spots all around the top left, top right, and bottom right. That's not a professional looking photo. It's very difficult for me. I can't even tell actually that it's brown. It looks black from this photo. So your pictures are super dark, but you do use the full square. I hope you're not taking photos directly in the eBay app. I would take them outside of it and then upload them if you're using your phone, and it's definitely too dark. You need a lighting kit set up a little bit different, and if you're going to use this layout, I recommend a lit background. If you really want to get the $70 for your DVF, got to present it really well because your competition is presenting it that well. Shoes are okay. These pictures are fine. I like seeing both shoes. I would like to see it more as a bird's eye view, so a little bit lower to the ground. But these are okay. These jean photos, again, very dark, out of focus. But you do have great stuff. So here we have the J. Crew, Xenia. I would maybe move men's to the third word. I think that you should always have the brand up front. Classic leg, 100% cotton. I would do the inseam also. Men's 32, 39. Yeah, so I presented the exact same way. But my pricing is like half of what your pricing is, so I don't think this is competitive at $40 plus shipping. Let's see what you're charging for shipping. $6.99. Okay, so that is reasonable. I charge $9.99 for jeans, but you can adjust it however you want. You're still gonna make a buck if you ship it in a flat rate envelope. So let's take a look at what is selling. Not your daughter's jeans, Vineyard Vines. Why is this photo so bright? I wonder if it's a stock photo. So scrolling down, not a great sell-through rate. Looks like you're selling a lot of denim and bras, intimate wear, which is fantastic, but you sell a lot more clothes and shoes. I think definitely your main issue right now is pricing. I don't think these boots are going to go for that much. I would ask almost half that much. I don't know. I just think that that's $70, $88, $81, and the photos are pretty dim. The detail's not too bad, but it does look really dark. So it's hard for me to get. I don't have a premium feel from looking at these photos. Looks like you just took them in a bedroom. And this dress right here, you can see how it's super dark. You really need to up your photo game if you want to charge this kind of premium pricing, or you need to drop your prices to give away yard sale prices because these are super dark. That would increase your sell-through. Let's see here. Shipping is fine. I would charge more for first class. I charge more for both actually. Make a buck or two. You do not have a best offer, which I think is a big mistake. You have 204 auctions too, starting it at reasonable prices. Okay, I like the auctions. I recommend no more than 1% a day. And this looks like about 10% of your listings are on auction, which is fine. So I don't mind doing a 10% auctions a week. I think that's a good way to get inventory to move. But I do think that the presentation here is very dark, which is making it look. These do not look professional. They look like somebody's closet. Because of the lighting. The presentation is fantastic because you have the whole item in the photo, but you want to make it a more premium feel because you can see stock photos are white for a reason. Your product mix, let's take a look at what your product mix looks like. You have some expensive stuff in here. I love it. You can see here the shape of this jacket looks wonky because you're you're taking it flat on a table, and you want to take photos straight on if you can to give people an idea of what it looks like. When they're laid down like this, it warps the shape quite a bit. Also, you should have the item be completely within the frame. When you have it cut off, and again, no stores do that, and so you look like a person, not a store. Super dark. A lot of clothes, a lot of new stuff. So I think it's a good product mix, and you have the high and low, cheap stuff and expensive stuff. A lot of stock photos. Be careful. Hopefully you're not getting any Vero violations for using other people's photos. Like this photo is amazing. Is this something that you... Why does this photo look like this? And the other photos are so dark. Let's search by recent. No, you still have this dark background on the newly listed stuff. Okay, not sure why those photos were exceptionally bright, but that does make a big difference here. Your sell-through rate's only 5%. This is a kind of an issue because your stuff is getting stale. When you sell stuff at only a 5% sell-through rate, you're going to drop lower and lower and lower into the search ranking, which is bad. You can't really recover from that. So I think the auctions are a great idea to get stuff to move. So, newly listed. Product mix is good. You have a lot of items listed, so you don't have a listing problem. We need to work on your sell-through rate. So it's going to be 90% presentation and photos for you. Your photos are dark. Like this True Religion photo, look at this versus in Natalie's store. Look how crisp the lighting is, right? It's not even a white background, but it's just a lot brighter of a photo. It makes them look a lot more expensive, and she's asking half the price you are. I mean, it's not apples to apples, but her True Religion logo is more prominent, which people like that. Like people are going to spend money on a pair of jeans, want to show off what brand it is. So, look, I'm seeing relatively high prices on some stuff, and potentially some items that the cheaper ones are no-name brands, which are difficult to sell on eBay. Let's see here. This, I think you'd have difficulty selling because of just how dark the photo is. Okay, so lots of random goods. We got to work on pricing. And all this cheap stuff right here, Old Navy, it's difficult to sell for $9, even brand new, in my opinion. It just depends on the tops, at least. I can sell Old Navy jeans really well, and the way this is presented, you can see here, it's just laid really flat. I wonder if there's a way that you can tilt this surface so you can take it more straight on. It's just hard for me to see the shape. It's not a flattering angle. Let's see, 1574 feedback. A lot of it this year, so you're doing some decent volume. Looks like your business has slowed down if you're looking at this. So I think that may be a reason from stale listings. And so this is a really good fallacy that I want to point out real quick on your store. Just because you grow your listings does not mean your sell-through rate will remain the same. It oftentimes will go down, and I think that the quality of your listings is so inconsistent. You know, like it's different areas, you're taking the stuff different angles, there's different lighting in different photos. That's really going to reduce the quality overall of your whole store. And once eBay starts seeing this person is not selling a lot of stuff, they're not going to show your items as often, which is going to hurt you in the long run. What's up? We're looking at 2 Kale now. What's going on? 598 items. Your photos are very clear and bright. I don't mind the wood background, but I can tell that it's on the floor. So I think you may want to adjust your lighting so there's not like a light spot and a dark spot. When you take the photos and you go into it, you can see this looks like a hardwood floor. Some people don't like their items on the ground, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm doing just fine with sell-through rate with items on the wood floor, so are you. But I do know some people do not buy things because they think it's on the floor. So that's just one take on the photos. They're all different, and the lighting looks different in all the photos. You can see the brightness here. The position of the lights is different. You also don't take measurements, which I think is a huge mistake because you're going to get a lot of questions and returns from that. You can actually mark the ground like I did with Sharpie, And you can erase it with dry erase marker if there's polish on your floor, and it's eventually going to wear off anyway and you're going to have to replace it. But that way you don't have to do anything different. The measurements will just be in the photographs. So if you make little tick marks 21, 22, 23, when you're taking those side shots, just zoom in on a couple of pictures and you'll be able to have the measurements when people ask you. That should save you a ton of time. On shipping, I would charge $1 more, but that's no big deal. Product mix, you're sort of in the same bucket as Hustlebee. You have a lot of the same types of items in your store. That can make sell-through rate drop to about 15%, which is what I think your store is at. 271 items sold the last 90 days on 590 is about 15%. So let me know what your 2018 goals are. I think for your store, you're doing a great job. Almost all of it is in the last 6 months. So you just started this store, which is amazing. Let me know what your 2018 goals are. Maybe we can work on an action plan. You can email me at 10canthebay@gmail.com and I'll work with you. But you're doing a great job. Have a very good sell-through rate of 15%. The only way to make that go faster would just be to, in my opinion, add measurements, lower your pricing a little bit because your pricing is on the high end, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, because you still have a 15% sell-through, and a lot of your new items you have multiple quantity of. This one you have listed as a buy it now and an auction. Be careful with that because eBay may end it for duplicate listing. So maybe take different photos when you use that strategy, which I have no issue with, especially if you get a few pops and you can do second chance offer. That's a fantastic way to move a bunch of inventory. A lot of your stuff is new with tags and a lot of it looks like thrifted, so same mix as me. I'm really down with the way that you run your store. And again, the key here is going to be speed. You have 600 items listed. Let's try to get you to 1,000 listed as soon as possible. Hen's Night Fun. You have 762 listings. Thank you for listening from Australia. I appreciate it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there. I think Cody Orgel is one. I had an Australian reseller chat on Saturday nights, which was like Sunday afternoon for you guys. And I'll try to get back into it. Australia is a really good market for reselling because a lot of people haven't tapped it yet. So I am excited to do more Australian-based shows. But that being said, let's get into it. 762 items. You are in the adult category. I'm starting to become more and more familiar with this. I'm going to start private labeling in this category. I love it. The sell-through rate is fantastic. I think for you, some keywords. As far as your photos, titles, description, shipping, and product mix, it's fantastic already. It looks like you've been doing this for a while. A lot of feedback. 1,234. So most of it happened within the last year or so. Let me look in here and see. Let's see. Yeah, your negative feedback is not out of the ordinary. My recommendation for you is actually to work on getting more replenishables in your store. One of my new eBay friends is in the same category and has 10,000 listings for sale. He's an actual 10K on the bay, and he's flooding the listings with everything in that category, different colors, different sizes, different quantities, all same products. And his job is just to find new products. So I think it's a husband and wife team, and they look for 2 to 5 new products per week. And message me and I'll show you their strategy. I don't want to share their strategy on YouTube, but they're getting in a really, really good momentum, getting more and more products added to their store. They're 100% replenishable. Husband and wife, and they do $1 million a year in sales. About between 100 and 150 orders a day on 10,000 quantity different replenishables available. So I want to help get you there. But again, for this strategy, it's 100% sourcing. Since your photographs are stock photos, your keywords, you understand how to do that. Look at this, 268 sold. You obviously understand this. It's just a game of managing your time to get as many products in your store as possible. And yeah, thank you for using a US address. I will send you a detailed email in just a second. Okay, the Mellow Penguin, 1,447 items. Fantastic sell-through rate, 862 items sold in the last 3 months. That's about 20%. This store looks like, to me, between a part-time and a full-time income. And the difference here, when I look at the store, is it looks like it's not It's not a yard sale. I know you told me not to tell you that it looks like a yard sale. It doesn't look like a yard sale. It looks like someone who's running a part-time eBay business. And I think that you have kind of a part-time income, I would guess, based on the sell-through rate here and the types of items that are in your store. What I would do is I would increase your shipping by $1 on some items because I think it's a little bit too cheap in comparison, because most of the people I see selling women's clothing that are larger charge about $6 shipping for first class and about $8 to $9 for priority, and they just keep it a flat rate. In this category, it's all about speed. You want to get as much stuff up as possible. So email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com. Let's try to get a plan together so you can list one or 200 items per week, because that's about 400 to 800 sales per month. That's more of a full-time income, and I want to get you to at least making between $4,000 and $8,000 per month. It's all about speed. You want to get things as quick as possible. And I can tell already by your photos that you take photographs in different parts of where you live, which is fine. It just slows down the process. If you can get into one area where you take all your photos, you take them all the same way, then you can get help really easily. Right now it's difficult to scale because in order to get somebody to help you, you need to have a process that they don't need to think about. I mean, you're paying them $12 an hour probably, and you yourself are the owner. They're not going to take pictures or write descriptions as clear as you. I would remove the where the location is from the title and put that in the custom SKU. That helped me a lot, because now when I print my labels, I can just walk over to the item and the label is the same as the bin, and I can just slap it on and I'm done. And that's saved me so much time. I can ship 50 items in less than an hour. So for you, definitely let's focus on speed. You already are a talented buyer, because not very many people have a 20% sell-through rate in women's clothing or in clothing in general. Your photos look fine. To me, they look a little bit out of focus. So email me what camera you use, but they're not as crispy as some of the other photos that I have seen. Also, the lighting is a little bit dark. So I think if you let me know what your setup looks like, maybe take a photo and email it to me, or send it to me on Instagram so I can get an idea of what your setup looks like. I don't like the tilt. The tilt is fine, but again, it doesn't look like no actual stores do that. Like if you get a J. Crew or Banana Republic or any stores that do any decent volume, none of them have the tilt. They're all straight on, because it just makes it more uniform. When you hire someone, they're going to have difficulty making it like that. Now, one more thing that I think does add to the element is when you make things super cute, and that can be cross-posted to Poshmark. These photos are not super cute, meaning there's not like a pineapple, and the symmetry is not set up like that. They're just like randomly in the photo. They're not even centered exactly, like just run DMC. And these little details I think do matter when you're trying to come across like a professional store. And I think if you just elevate your expectation of yourself 2 levels higher, you're going to double your income, because it's just really how you treat your business. And I feel like you're just treating it from what it looks like in here like a part-time business, meaning some items are cut off in the photo. There is some artistic value to that, but again, no actual stores do that unless you're Plato's Closet. And if you're Plato's Closet, you have the accessories and shoes also in the same picture to complete the look. For me, I haven't seen very many sellers have this type of price point and 20% sell-through rate. Most of the people who have 20% or higher in the $10 to $12 range, and you have decent pricing. So I wouldn't change anything except for the speed. Because think about if you had 3,000 items in your store, you would be making twice as much money. And I think you can do it in the same amount of time if we just talk about how to set up your day. So again, great job on your store. 20% sell-through is very good. I would just say up the professionality of your photos and presentation, because everything else looks great. Alright, let's take a look at this. You purchased a mini review. You're at 56% margin, which is incredible. Marnie and Erina, let's take a look at your store. I worry about your store because it has an extremely low sell-through rate. There are 1,000 items for sale, but you only had 18 feedback in the last month, which based on your solds, it looks like you only have a 3.5% sell-through rate, which is extremely slow. You're in the bucket where I think eBay is probably hiding your listings because they're not converting, which is concerning to me because I'm not sure why. You do a great job on photos. They're very bright. Your titles are fine. You have gender. You have very, very clean white photos. The background is almost perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, it's almost perfect. The lighting is a little bit uneven towards the right side, but again, that does not matter. That's not going to affect your sell-through rate at all. It looks very natural. Your photos are clear. Your pricing seems fine. You have a lot of watchers, but none of this stuff is really converting. So let me know if you're using good till canceled, if you're using 30-day auctions. The reason I ask is I wonder if these listings are super stale. I think possibly your pricing may be the reason things aren't moving very quickly, but I can't. This is actually puzzling to me why you don't have at least twice as fast as sales with this type of product mix. Let's take a look at what was newly listed. Your photos are fantastic. They're in the top like 5% of photos that I have seen. I love these picture pockets. These pants pocket pictures, because it gives a good idea of what the jeans look like. You've tried the full jean shot. I'm not sure what could be causing your sales to not be much faster. Your pricing is not unusually high. And your shoe photos are exquisite. So they almost don't even look real. And you have them watermarked, so clearly it's your photo. It's very odd. I'm not sure why your sell-through rate is really low, to be honest. Please email me and let me know what your amount listed is, or you can message me, because I'm really curious how much total you have listed. Your sell-through rate is literally less than 5%. I've never seen that with a store that's this good. And you're a fantastic seller. I think you have 100% feedback. You do, but your sell-through rate is broken. I almost want to schedule a call. If you guys are local, email me at 10kaleinthebay@gmail.com. I would like to talk to you guys on the phone. I'm actually not sure why your sell-through rate's not literally 3 times as fast. So email me. I'll send you my phone number. Let's talk on the phone, because I want to know what's going on. You're top rated. You have competitive pricing. Extremely good photos, very bright, and the white background, and your shoe photos are incredible. This would be how I present somebody at this level with your product mix. Let me just search again on the high to low. You also have items that are above 50 bucks. You should already be making $750 a week based on the stuff at this level profit. So anyway, email me at 10kaleinthebay@gmail.com. I want to walk through how long these listings have been up. The only thing I can think of is that they're super stale. So eBay is just hiding these listings because the sell-through rate was overly slow. And when I look at your solds, all the items are under 30 bucks. And I'm just really not sure. You actually stumped me on this one on why your sales are slower than I expected. But let's work together, and hopefully 2018 will be a better year. What's up, Theresa Club Red 97? This is a veteran of the game, guys. Theresa Cox's been selling for a long time, a couple of decades actually, with 3,375 listings in her store. It looks like you're selling about 200 items, 200 to 300 items per month. So that is, to me, a very slow sell-through rate with this many items. However, if you were 100% replenishables, that wouldn't be a slow sell-through rate. That would actually be quite good. If all your items were replenishable, meaning there's nothing pre-owned, all you're doing is just sending stuff that you have multiple quantity of, 10% is fine. But because you have a lot of one-offs, I'll just show you what I see so far. So first off the bat, it does not look like, does not look like a store to me. It looks like a hobby in your house. And the reason why I say that is because your photos are all dark and they're all different. You have different setups. You're taking them in different places. There's no consistency with the way the photos look, which means that you're wasting a lot of time, in my opinion, setting up things in different areas of your house, different staging areas. Also, there's not very much negative space around the item. In fact, most of your items are cut off by the photo. So like this jacket, this is probably a stock photo, but you can see space all the way around the item. It's easier to view, easier to see, and it gives you an idea of the entire item. Whereas this jersey and this jersey, they're cut off, and that doesn't look like a store. It looks a little bit sloppy. And there's also a few other things that I've noticed, that your attention to detail has definitely dropped, probably because of the size of your store. Like as an example, there's quite a few of your listings where it says your description summary goes here. This needs to be deleted. Also, I like to see all one font instead of this is multiple different fonts in the same thing. It's hard to read. I like bullet points. I don't think this link works. It doesn't work in this listing. It doesn't work in this listing. So you have a broken link in every single one of the listings that I have looked at, which is definitely unprofessional, because someone's in here, if they want to look at your other stuff, they're not even going to be able to find through that link. So all these little things add up to basically your store looking more amateurish and not like a store. Also, taking pictures of things in a light box like this is fine, but I think that if you're going to see the background, this kind of defeats the purpose of the light box, which is to eliminate the background, take perfectly white photos. You need to text me and I'll show you. I just put up a video on how to take perfectly white photos with an iPhone, which you have. So we need to upgrade your photos big time, so that I can show you how to take photos like this American girl photo without spending a lot of money. And that's going to up the game of your store, but it definitely looks like it's in your house. Your setup is almost different in every single photo. Also, they're not square. Square photos are the best because it gives the maximum exposure of the item. Like the snowman photo, look how crispy it looks with that full square. And they've achieved that. If your photos are not fully square, if they're clear background, then they'll still look full square with that. I love that you have tons and tons of replenishables in your store, because that's the way you build a business. Let's see here. Titles are good, your descriptions are good, clear. So there's no active content in your thing. I would just say the main thing is just the quality of the photos. It looks extremely amateur. Like here, you have a bright light that's shining on this violin, which is not doing a $5,000 violin justice. The one thing about the photos, this is out of focus. You just made this $5,000 violin look like a $300 violin by the way that you presented it. So definitely need to up the game on your photos. You're going to make your sell-through rate's going to go much higher. Also, with an anchor store, you may want to request a stale inventory report. I'm curious how many of your listings have been around for way too long, and you just have it because of the size. I'd like to see this shrink to like 1,000 items. We had talked about there being a medium store between anchor and premium that you would sign up for. I don't think with the quality of your items in your store, you need 3,376 items. I think that a lot of it is junk. We need to get rid of it. Maybe retake the photos if it's good. But you can see this Size Me tool. This is an excellent photo. It's bright. It goes all the way to the edges. It's square. It looks totally different. Obviously, this is a replenishable item that you have, and I've been plugging it for you. If you guys want to buy a tool that helps you with shipping, this is a great tool to buy. But my point is, it just looks much on a different tier of professionalism versus your other listings. So you might want to go in here and clean it all up. I think you should charge for shipping. It's 2017. Free shipping, for me, I don't see large stores give free shipping really for the most part, unless they're consignment and they don't have best offer. Actually, you may not have best offer. Okay, I take it back. Because you don't have best offer, I'm okay with free shipping to make it easier for the customer. I want to say I would turn on best offer, but I don't know how crazy your phone would be with that. But I also don't see a lot of big sellers these days without best offer. So that may be something you want to try. Again, Theresa, we're friends. Reach out to me anytime. Not necessary for you to purchase a review because we talk all the time, but I appreciate you supporting. If you have any questions, let me know. I think we need to really, really up your photo game. Have a good one.